The Jeffrey Sutton case exposes the deep roots of anti-black policing in America, revealing systemic issues that persist today. In November 2020 in Bloomfield, New Jersey, Jeffrey Sutton thought he was going to die when unmarked police cars boxed in his Mercedes-Benz. Officers in plain clothes jumped out, and Sutton, unaware they were police, panicked and reversed, accidentally hitting another car. Captain Gary Peters pointed a gun at his head, threatening to blow it off, even after Sutton turned off his engine and raised his hands. Fearing for his safety, Sutton tried to back away, accidentally hitting another car, at which point Peters and another officer opened fire, striking him multiple times. Police claimed Sutton tried to ram them and charged him with 4 counts of aggravated assault, leading to him spending over 3 years in jail. However, video footage from news and police body cameras emerged, proving Sutton was driving away from officers, not toward them. Most charges were dismissed, and Sutton pleaded guilty only to eluding police, but he still lives with nerve damage and emotional trauma. Despite the video evidence of false reporting, Captain Peters was promoted to Deputy Chief of Police in 2023. Jeffrey Sutton's case is not isolated. The Bloomfield Police Department has a documented history of targeting Black and Latino residents. A Seton Hall University study revealed that while Bloomfield's population is 60% white, Black and Latino residents make up 78% of court appearances. Nearly 84% of tickets are issued in the lower third of the township, bordering predominantly Black and Latino communities like Newark and East Orange. This pattern, described as a de facto border patrol, generated over $1 million for Bloomfield Municipal Court from Black and Latino residents. The municipal court's budgeted salaries were projected to more than double in 2015, suggesting a financial incentive. The lack of accountability in Sutton's case is systemic, largely due to qualified immunity, which shields officers from civil liability. Qualified immunity protects officers unless they violate clearly established law, often requiring a nearly identical prior court case. Body cameras intended to increase accountability are often misused. A BBC investigation found over 150 reports of camera misuse. The history of American policing is deeply intertwined with slavery and the control of black bodies. The first slave patrol, established in South Carolina in 1704, chased runaways, prevented revolts, and policed black communities. These patrols had broad authority, including warrantless searches for contraband like educational materials, to maintain civil order. After the Civil War, black codes criminalized black freedom, forcing people into labor contracts and allowing white citizens to act as de facto police. Jim Crow laws from the mid-1880s to 1965 further enforced segregation, with police acting as foot soldiers to maintain black subordination. Black communities were simultaneously over-policed for nonviolent offenses and under-policed for crimes against black victims. Throughout the 20th century, police brutality against black Americans sparked major uprisings across the country. In July 1967, Newark erupted after 2 white officers beat and arrested black cab driver John William Smith, leading to 26 deaths. In August 1965, the Watts neighborhood of Los Angeles burned for 6 days after a physical confrontation during a traffic stop, resulting in 34 deaths. The Tulsa Race Massacre of 1921 saw local police deputize hundreds of white residents who, alongside law enforcement, ravaged the Greenwood neighborhood. Modern policing continues these patterns. Black Americans are 33% of police stops and 32% of those who experience threat or use of force. They are more than twice as likely to be searched or arrested during a traffic stop and 6 times more likely to experience misconduct. Since 2015, at least 135 unarmed black men and women have been fatally shot by police, with 75% of officers being white. The financial incentive for racial profiling, as seen in Bloomfield, is also evident in places like Ferguson, Missouri. Ferguson derived nearly a quarter of its budget from fines and fees, prioritizing revenue over public safety. Black people, comprising 67% of Ferguson's population, accounted for 85% of vehicle stops, 90% of citations, and 93% of arrests. Systemic barriers to police accountability include false reporting, lack of criminal charges, and promotions for those involved in misconduct. Qualified immunity, created by the Supreme Court in 1967, has become an absolute shield against accountability. Body cameras often fail due to police control over their use and footage release, as seen in the Tyre Nichols case. The psychological toll on black communities is profound, leading to fear, trauma, increased depression, and emotional distress. Jeffrey Sutton's inability to work and support his 5 children due to his injuries exemplifies this lasting impact. Attempts at reform, such as implicit bias training and de-escalation techniques, have largely failed. Minneapolis, despite implementing numerous reforms, saw George Floyd murdered in 2020, highlighting the systemic nature of the problem. Real accountability requires dismantling qualified immunity, holding officers personally and financially accountable, and empowering community oversight boards. Jeffrey Sutton's ongoing lawsuit and the promotion of the officer who shot him underscore the urgent need for fundamental change. This case reminds us that American policing is rooted in slavery and white supremacy, demanding a re-evaluation of its fundamental purpose. For more information and to support African Elements, visit patreon.com/AfricanElements. You can also find more educational videos, tools, and resources at africanelements.org.